Berachot Perek Tet, Mishnah Aleph. We'll continue our learning in memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. So now the last chapter of Berachot turns to all kinds of different brachot that we say, all kinds of different blessings that we say for different experiences, different sightings, different things that should bring about a certain kind of religious experience. So the Mishnah says, let's say you see a place where miracles were done to the Jewish people. Omer, Baruch she'asa nisim la'avoteinu b'makom hazeh. Baruch ata Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, God, who did miracles for our forefathers b'makom hazeh, in this place. Similarly, makom she'ne'ekra mimenu avodah zarah. You see a place where avodah zarah, idolatry, was uprooted from ne'ekar, to be uprooted. Omer Baruch she'akra avodah zarah me'arteinu. You say, Baruch ata Hashem, blessed are you, God, who has uprooted idolatry from our land. So now the Gemara goes, it's a very fascinating discussion in the Gemara that's actually brought down the halacha about what are these places she'asubo nisim liYisrael. So the Gemara gives a whole list of them. This is the Gemara in Berachot. The Gemara says, Tana Rabbanan, what are these things? So ma'avrot hayam. If you see the ma'avrot hayam, the passages, the place where they did Kriyat Yamsuf. Uma'avrot hayarden, and where the Jewish people crossed to the Yarden. Ma'avrot nachale Arnon. If you see the passage of Nachal Arnon, and the Gemara tells a whole story about the desire of the enemies of the Jewish people to destroy them, and that there was a miracle. Or Avnei Al-Gabish b'Morad Beit Charon. The Avnei Al-Gabish are asteroids or falling debris. They were, bombs necessarily, divine bombs. Avnei Al-Gabish, falling, asteroids. Ve'evan shebikesh lizrok Og Melech HaBashan al Yisrael. And the rock that Og Melech HaBashan wanted to throw on the Jewish people. Fascinating story, unbelievable. I gotta tell you, you have to look it up over there, that Og Melech HaBashan decided, according to Chazal, he was a huge giant. So he said, how big is the Jewish camp? It was 3 mil by 3 mil, however long that is. So he picked up a rock 3 mil by 3 mil, and he wanted to just crush them all in one fell blow. So the Gemara says that ants or some kind of insects came and they ate out the inside of the rock, so that the rock then fell. He held it over his head. The rock then fell, and it was around his neck. Became like a yoke around his neck. And the Gemara says that his teeth, up and down, the bottom teeth protruded up and the top teeth protruded down, and got stuck in the rock. And then that was how Moshe Rabbeinu was able to kill Og Melech HaBashan. Fascinating Gemara. There's a lot of interesting things on it, but this is a Mishnah story, Mishnah Shir. Ve'evan sheyashav alea Moshe b'shah she'asa Yoshua milchama ba'amalek. And the rock that Moshe sat on when Yoshua made war with Amalek, Ishto Shalot, and the pillar of salt that Lot turned into, V'chomat Yericho, and the wall of Yericho shnivla bimkoma, that was nivla, that was swallowed in its place, when the walls of Yericho fell. Al kulam tzarich she'yiten hoda'a v'shavach l'pnei hamakom. All of them you have to give hoda'a, praise and shavach, thanks and praise before God. And this is actually, these stories, these are midrashim. But nonetheless, the Gemara brings it down, so it's brought down the halacha. This is Shulchan Aruch. Kagon, if you see the place that miracles were done, like Ma'avrot Hayam and Ma'avrot Hayarden, the passage of Yamsuf and the passage of the Jordan River. Uma'avrot Nachalei Arnon, V'avnei Al-Gabish, V'evan shebikesh Og lizrok al Yisrael. And if you see the stone that Og wanted to throw on the Jewish people, etc., okay, you have to say, you have to make the bracha that God did miracles for our forefathers. It's an interesting question, meaning these are midrashim that are clearly, on the one hand, based in an understanding. Chazal thought that they were based on fact, but there's also midrashic underpinnings. There's also ideological understandings of them. Nonetheless, halachically, it's brought down. Obviously, there are other ramifications. Let's say, for example, a person sees a place where a miracle was done to him. What about nowadays? What if you see the capture of the place when you go to Har HaBayit and you see Jerusalem and you walk to, hopefully today I'm going to go into Shar Tzion and you see the bullet holes where the Tzanchanim, they captured the city of Yerushalayim, the old city. Do you say Baruch she'asa nisim la'avotenu b'makom hazeh? Are these examples only literal miracles? These are literal miracles. Do we have to wait for literal miracles or the figurative miracle of the recapture of the state of Israel? These are interesting questions for poskim to discuss, when they rule, should you say Baruch she'asa nisim la'avoteinu b'makom hazeh? And even if you don't say the actual bracha itself with Shem u'malchut, a person should have the religious fervor and the appreciation to understand that even if it's not a physical miracle, the laws of nature were changed, nonetheless, it is a nes, it is a miracle that God gave us back these places in the land of Israel. And at the very least, there's no reason whatsoever why a person shouldn't say without Shem u'malchut, thank God, Baruch she'asa nisim la'avoteinu b'makom hazeh. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to contact me at arspoter@gmail.com. Have a great day.